Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to my channel on this very cold winter's morning here in North Canterbury, New Zealand. I hope you're warm wherever you are in the world, but not too warm and not too cold, because I'm, usual story. I just run cold, and today is no exception. I'm cold. So it is Trashcraft Tuesday, and I hope this is going to be a fun project. I don't know. Yeah, let's just get into it, because I've been trying to think all night and all this morning, what am I going to do? So first up, I have these little pull-out instruction manual things that came in a product at my husband's work, and they are getting rid of all the paperwork that goes with it, and I must have in the vicinity of 30 to 40 of these. So much like the other little instruction book that I've been working in lately, these are trash. They are trash. So my dear male level patrons, you'll be getting a blank one of these like this in your Patreon mail, and maybe you can make this project yourself. One word of caution though to those who are receiving them is they are not folded straight, so you do need to go sort of leaf by leaf and refold it so that it's kind of straight, because they are all over the show. So I'm going to do, this is my plan, a little kind of pull down journaling spot. It's really long. It's about 19 inches long, this bit of paper. And it is, I didn't actually measure the height or the width, depending which way you're looking. It's just over 4.5 inches this way, but this way it's about 19 inches. So it's a long bit of paper. You could replicate this. Obviously not everyone's going to have something like this. You could replicate this with a bit of 12 by 12 scrapbook paper and just make it not as long, so you won't have as many kind of hills and valleys, if you like. This way, each fold this way is about 3¼ inches, but you could make it shallower, make it to fit your bit of paper if you want to do something along these lines. So I have been through and I've kind of folded it so it is semi-straight-ish. So it's going to be like glued down here, just make sure it's in frame, glued down here, and then we're going to have writing segments, and then also on the back. So there won't be as many on the back because one section will be glued down. Make sense? Okay, let's just get into it and see how far we get. So this front bit will be decorated, so it actually might end up with pretty similar amount of decorated or writing space. That's what I'm trying to say. So this book here is one Mum was getting rid of, and all the pages are printed single-sided. So I'm going to use the plain side to form my writing spaces, because I want to kind of alternate colours. So a green and a yellow. I don't know how many I will need. Maybe a pink. And I think there's blue in here. Yes, there is blue, so we'll go blue. And then if we want an extra colour, there's a couple of extra colours in here. We can grab one of those. But we'll start with just these 4 pages. These are A4 pages. And I'm thinking if I work out what the dimensions are, maybe I can do them all on my guillotine. So let's find a little bit of note paper somewhere. You would think I'd have lots available, but no. Right, post-it note. Found a post-it note. Okay, so we want each piece to be, I'm going to go 4.5 inches. My apologies if you'd prefer I work in centimetres, but you're going to be working with a different piece of paper, and you might not want to leave a border. You might want to kind of cover the whole thing. And I'm going to go by 3 inches. Okay, one of my reasons for working in inches is that it's easier for me to work in inches on my guillotine, because it's up the top here and down the bottom it's not in centimetres. None of it's in centimetres, so it's just easier for me. I don't know how many we need. So this is 11.5. I should have known that without measuring it, but never mind. So I'm just working out which way it's best to cut it. And this way is 8, because we've got the holes on the side. So we're not going to get 2 of that dimension, but we'll get 2 of that. So I'm going to do 4.5 this way, and then we'll get 2 lots of 3 the other way. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I'm not really making a lot of sense. I'm hoping I can get through all these. I'm just aware this might be a little bit of a time suck, this project, so I'm just trying to move on as quickly as I can. So we're going to go 4.5 this way. I think we'll have ample out of these 4 pages, and these may not be completely straight because this edge is not allowing them to line up properly, but I don't mind if it's not perfect. So we're just going to go for it. So 4.5 that way, and let's do our 3. And my pages may be slightly different sizes anyway, depending on the folds. So we may have to trim some down or just kind of fiddle around until we get the best fit. And another 3. And then just while I'm here, I'm going to tidy up this edge so we've got some nice little scraps. Might as well take those holes off. Yeah, nice tidy little scrap pile there. Oh, someone's tooting a horn outside. Wonder what that's about. It's school holidays here in New Zealand, so it's probably a parent going, "Hurry up, child, I'm waiting." Or it's the child in the car going, "Hurry up, mum, I'm in the car." Who knows? Right. So these are definitely not lined up very well, but that's okay. So go 4.5 this way again. I'm just going to trim off these bits. More fun scraps. And now our next 2 lots of 3. And I think I'll put a digital on the front, I think, as a base layer, and then decorate it up from there. But I haven't got any firm plans at the moment for the front. It will be reasonably thick, so I'm interested to see how that works, as to whether it's going to end up too thick to put on a page. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking that is entirely possible, maybe even probable. But we'll just see. At the end of the day, if it's going to be too bulky, we can just leave it loose as something to tuck into a pocket, which is always an option as well. You don't need to make it into something that will go down on a page, but then you would want to add paper on that last page. So I'm just going to do a little test. I'm leaving a white border because I really like that, and I think I'm going to use tacky glue, because otherwise we're going to go through a lot of glue stick and it will take longer too. This book is from when my mum was at Bible college. So that was back in 1990. I think she was there 3 years, 2 years, 3 years. I can't remember. But it was in the early 1990s, because it was when I was in my first job out of school. And my next brother up from me, I've got 2 older brothers, so the middle child and myself, we basically flatted at home together. So we had the house and Mum would come home most weekends and we'd pay board, obviously, but yeah, it was just the 2 of us, and we'd do our meals and our shopping and stuff. And at that time he also worked in Amberley as well as I, so, and he actually worked pretty much across the road and just down a couple of doors from where I was working. So sometimes I was able to catch a ride home with him, but mostly I biked to and from work. Just on, you know, if it was a grotty day, a wet day, or a really cold day or something, then I'd catch a ride with him. And depending what else he had on, whether the timing fitted, usually did. But yeah, I don't actually know why I didn't catch a ride with him more often. Maybe I left earlier or he left, I can't remember. It's a long time ago, people, long time ago. Okay, so I'm just really simply laying these bits of paper on and just cycling through the colours to make it a little bit fun. You know, it's a bit more happy, a bit colourful, inviting, I think. I love, don't get me wrong, I love vintage, I love neutrals and coffee dyed and all that, but I do have this big book of paper that I would like to use and not keep around forever and a day. But I also think it's nice to break out and use some happy colours. Whoops, that's a little bit not fitting. So let's bring it down closer to that fold line. There we go, that's better. And green. Let's just do a size test before I put it down, because yeah, the pages are definitely not exactly the same size, given that the folds were all over the show. Even when I straightened them out, I knew that the pages weren't the same size. So if you do make your own sort of style of this from a bit of scrapbook paper or packing paper or whatever you have, scoring your folds is probably a really good idea at whatever point you choose, whether it's 3 inches or 2 inches or 2.5, whatever. I would recommend scoring just to make life a little bit easier. Right, so we're back to blue. Just making sure I haven't missed a page. No, we're all good. So blue. So it's Monday morning as I'm recording this. It is really super cold and it's wet and grey and just miserable outside. I thought it would be a little bit warmer because there wasn't a frost, but no, it is super, super cold. And it's the start of a very busy week. I think I said in an earlier video, maybe the video that goes up today, I said how I've had 3 food parcels already to do on Wednesday. Well, this morning a 4th one came in, so I've got 4 to do, and we've still got a couple of days before they'll be put together, so it's going to be busy. I also have other things going on. So I've got my first personal training session at the gym tomorrow morning. My hubby made it for me, and I was a bit gutted that he made it for a morning because that's when I do my videos. So it's going to put a little bit extra pressure on. It's only half an hour, 3/4 of an hour that I'll be away, but you know, it's still like an interruption to my day. And then I've got to go out in the afternoon tomorrow. So that interrupts that as well. So 2 interruptions tomorrow. Then on Wednesday, I have the food bank in the afternoon, and so currently 4 parcels to put together and stock to receive and put away and, you know, all that jazz. So that's going to pretty much occupy the whole afternoon. Then in the evening on Wednesday, we have the community dinner, which we are helping at. So that's going to, you know, take care of the evening. Thursday, back at the food bank again for basically a whole afternoon. So that's 2 whole afternoons. And then Friday is shopping day. So I'll be out all day. And if all goes according to plan, my mother-in-law will have her last day of chemotherapy on Friday. So we'll need to pick her up, I think, as a potential possibility. So Friday's going to be a full day, whichever way you look. And then Saturday, so excited, is our mask event for hubby's midwinter do. So really looking forward to that. I just hope I'm not too tired by then, because I'm super excited. Right, so we have covered all that side of the page. And yes, you can see some of the text from what was printed on these papers. But if somebody wants to read it, go for gold. Like, I can think of more interesting things to read through a half-obscured piece of paper. I don't think anyone's going to really bother. Okay, so this is going to be the cover. I'm just going to write on it so that I don't mess up my plan. So now we need to cover these. And I think I'll just continue with the yellow, starting with the yellow here. Oops, got a bit of glue stuck on my thumbnail. Let's get, or both thumbnails. Goodness, that's clever. I find things like that very distracting. So the text, the obscured text that you can see through the papers, I just think add something to it. You know, they just give a little background bit of interest. If it was my husband, he would try and read it. He is definitely that type of person. Like, I'll show him something I've made and I've used a bit of book page or something in the background, and he sits there and reads whatever he can of it. And it's just like, why are you reading it? It's not meant to be read. It's like, because he wants to. It's like, you're supposed to appreciate the aesthetic and the work involved and how pretty it looks, not try and read a random bit of text that's layered up or that was in the background and that I've covered over, and there's just like a little peek showing through. It's like, husband, get with the program. Don't be reading the text, the collaged text. He's funny. He's really funny. He likes to look at what I've done. But I do find that aspect sometimes a little frustrating. It's like, yeah, come on, don't take all day. Just look at it and go, oh yeah, that's cool. And we're done. You don't need to be trying to read all the text. Is anyone else's hubby like that? Or, you know, partner or someone that you show your work to on a regular basis and they do something unexpected, like try and read something or turn it upside down, or I don't know. Does anyone do anything weird when you show that your work to them, your junk journaling things? Not everybody gets it. My hubby gets it, but he just likes to read the text. So bizarre. It's like, yeah, it's not important, darling. Not important. You could have had a look, handed it back to me, and we'd be on to something else by now. But no, you're sitting reading like boring whatever is in the background text. Yeah, so how's your week shaping up? Have you got a busy week? I'm looking forward to it. I'm also a little kind of, I guess I would say, apprehensive, because I had a little bit of a cough last night. I coughed several times. I sneezed several times. I had a little bit of a sort of blockage in my throat, like phlegmy kind of thing. I was like, no, please don't get sick. Please, no. Because I'm it for the food bank this week. I can't get sick, and I don't want to miss out on the party on Saturday night, because we've been looking forward to it for months. And it's like, please don't get sick. But I'm pleased to report this morning I'm feeling fine. Nose is a little drippy, but that's normal when I'm, when it's a cold day. So nothing to worry about at the moment. Okay, so this is our glue side. At the moment, that may change if we decide it's too bulky, because we've bulked it up, haven't we? We've made it quite a bit thicker with double layers of paper. I think I need a page. So grab out one of these diary pages. This is cool. It's like a colouring page out of a diary. So it's a really nice fit on a page. Like, I think I would probably put it maybe at the top. And so pull it down. I can't even fit it all on frame because it's so jolly long. And then you can pull it up the other way to write on it that way. So heaps and heaps of writing space. Or do I just pop it in a pocket? So, because it is quite bulky. If you had a writing board in the journal, it wouldn't really be a problem. But I don't know which way to jump. Either way, I think it's just up to the individual choice as to what you want to do. If you glue this on, potentially you could do it as a belly band or a pocket or something. But my thought is that it will need a closure to hold it down. Otherwise, if you pick up your journal with it open, it might just like all fall down, if you know what I mean. Not fall off, but fall down. So I was envisaging a closure up here. If it's in a pocket, it won't need a closure because it will just open out this way and then write on it. I am kind of convincing myself to go loose in a pocket. So thanks for coming along on that journey with me of deciding which way to go. So I'm going to rub out this glue bit here. I could, of course, cut this in half and like just use half of it. Like put, you know, tear it down there and we'd make two. And I think that would be a fine weight to glue down. So you could even make two of these out of the one piece of paper. That's another idea. Right, so what colour are we up to? I think we're up to... Where did we start? We started with blue. Are we up to green? I think green. It's going to be green. I don't really mind whether it's correct or not. It's just as long as it's different to the two that are next to it. And if it wasn't different to both of them, well, so be it. Could always grab out a separate colour, you know, a fifth colour if we wanted to, but this works for me. Okay, so we're going to make this a floating one to tuck in a pocket because it is thick. Oops, I could have moved that up slightly, but it's okay. And then now we're back to our cover. So now that I know this is the cover, I'm going to rub out that. It's a very dark pencil, that one, so it's not rubbing out completely, but it'll be fine. So I could either use a bit of this in the background. So we've got pink there and yellow there, so we don't want yellow. Do we want green again? I think green. Or do I want to collage it up? What have we got that we might like to use? I'm just hunting through my big bag and it's so stuffed full that it's very difficult to try and show you what I'm doing. I wouldn't be able to see properly. So I do apologise for that. That's very thick. This, it's kind of not cardstock, but very thick paper. I'm not sure that I want to use that. That's the wrong colours. That might be okay. Again, it's not super thick. It's scrapbook paper. Or is this big enough? Just pulling out random scraps now. Okay, I'm going to work something. I'm going to make something in this work. So not that bit. Let's put that bit away. What do I think? It's kind of very travel themed. I'm not sure that I want to go travel themed. Bit of one of my printables. We do have pink in there. Let's try something. Let's just start experimenting and playing. Not sure if I want any of this or not, but no, I don't think I do. I think I just want to do the green and then this pink. So let's pop this down. Yeah, it was funny when Mum was going through this. I was there when she was going through just to check if she wanted anything out of it. And of course, she was at Bible college. She was learning. She was studying. So her work was marked. And she says often her organisation got marked down, you know, her filing system, because that was part of the course, was everything had to be appropriately filed and kind of organised. And she says, you know, they were so busy and they got so much stuff given out to them that she didn't actually know how was the best way to organise it. And then things like the book that I took these papers out, how to incorporate that in like a file bound system. So there's a wee ring on the spine where she just kind of hooked it onto the loops of the file, you know, the big lever arch file ones. So a little ring she had hooked onto the spiral bound to kind of hook it into the ring binder. And yeah, she said she always got marked down on it. And I was like, really? I mean, I would not have thought that would be such an important part of a Bible college course. Like, everybody's system's going to be different. They're going to do it this best way for them. That's not necessarily someone else's preferred way. So yeah, I found it kind of amusing, kind of sad that she felt bad about her filing system when, yeah, anyway. Because she tried her best and it was the best she could do, the best she could come up with, and she could find things. So what else does it matter if nobody else can find stuff? Because it's hers. It's her filing system. So anyway, rant over. Okay, let's decorate this up a little bit. I'm thinking a label, maybe a focal image of some description. I'm rubbing my hands because they're cold. Maybe I'll go for an Artzology flower. I haven't used one of these for a while, it feels like. Bit big. Oh, are they going to be too big? Let's see. There are some slightly smaller ones like this. That's quite pretty. Well, this is one where I've just cut the the head of the rose off, and this one again, just cut one of the roses out, a little bit small. Just trying a few options here. Oh, I like that. This one's a misprint, I believe, because it's more yellow than green. A lot of these are not the correct colours. Done on my old printer when the cyan was locked, so very beautiful even though it's a misprint. Now it's got a few cutouts, so I don't think I'm going to risk the glue stick. I'm not distressing anything because I've got all those white edges, and it would be a lot of work to go around and distress everything. If I come to use it in a journal which needs to be distressed, you know, to fit the journal, then I'll do it then. But I'm not going to go ahead and do it now when I may not need to if it goes in a journal that's not all distressed. So that's my thinking there. It's always an option to go and do it later. It's a loose piece, it's not going to be hard to do at a later date. Right. Put our flower here. Oops, maybe down a little bit. Right in the middle. Just going to give it a press from the other side. Okay, and something up there. Maybe one of my stamped labels. Kind of don't mind that size. Don't mind that either, but probably the wrong colour. Let's turn this lid upside down and put them in here. Might make it a little easier to pick them up later. Any of these are too big, I think. What about this one? Dolphin Bay, it says. That's quite nice. It's black. Just noticed the text on that last label says it's got the word problem, and it's like I might want to layer something over top of that word when I use that one, just because problem, kind of not a great thought, is it? I mean, problems everywhere, we don't need it on our ephemera. Here's a little map one. Just, yeah, not sure about the colour, whereas the green kind of ties in with the green. I think we'll go that one, rather than spend all day fossicking. I think we pretty much went through them all anyway. Right, let's use a glue stick on this. Kind of feeling like it needs to be splattered with paint or something. I don't know why, but I'm thinking as an alternative, do we want to stamp something on it? Maybe. Sorry for the squeaky chair back. Try that one. Do I want splatters? Do I want some text? Maybe these dotty ones. And colour, that's the other thing. I think we'll go old paper. and see what that looks like. Just put a bit of something in behind there. So old paper distress ink. Still want a relatively subtle kind of effect. Yeah, nice. Like black would be way too harsh, and coffee, I didn't want to go too vintagey with this since we've got a lot of white. But I also want to bring some of the elements together. It's still not folded straight, but there we go. Oh, nothing left on the stamp there. Just a little bit kind of in the middle there. Just a few little sprinkles. Okay, I think we've done it. Man, short video, unless we find something else to do. That actually went surprisingly quickly. I am quite happy with that. What we could do is make a little something on each here, something to make it a little bit more interesting, but not take a ton of writing space up. Let's grab my, we might as well put this stamp away while we're here. Get it off my desk, out of the road. Just looking here in my bin, see what I might like to do. Actually, I think I've got a different idea. What about this wee set? Do we want black? Or perhaps navy. Navy might be nice, mightn't it? It's not quite so harsh. This is a very dark navy, but just won't be quite so bold. I'm thinking. Whether that's true or not, we shall find out. The bee in the corner. Cute. Let's do a little spray of leaves, and I think I'll just cycle through the stamps. You could also put pockets in this if you want, but I just want to keep it as writing space. Lovely, and a butterfly. Maybe down here. And a flower. So I'm alternating corners as well. Now I could go back to the bee, or I could just use more of these stamps, and I'm just going to do that. So I'm going to use a ladybird or ladybug, depending what you call it in your location. We tend to call them ladybirds. Cute. Let's go the bird, I think, next, because we've got more creatures than we have plants. We've only got one leaf and two flowers, and the rest are wildlife. cute. Okay, and then over to the back. So we're doing bottom right hand corner. Let's go a flower. And dragonfly. So that must be top right, is it? Yeah, top right. Maybe I'll have it flying down into the page. And butterfly. So we must be back down to bottom left. And now I'm not going to necessarily keep to the same order as what I started with. I'm just going to go the leaf next. And maybe do it a different orientation. That would be fun. Leaf there. Maybe we'll do the bee on the yellow because that kind of fits with my aesthetic. And our bee. Sweet. Okay, so just a little bit of interest on our pages there. Now I'm not going to fold it up because I'm not sure how well that ink dries, how quickly it dries. So I'm just going to give it a moment. Have a wee sip of my coffee. Put that away, put that away. I can put these away. All those scraps of paper can just go in my scrap bag. So excuse me while I do a bit of tidy up. Got all those stamps to clean, and I think we should be good. Okay, so we have a fun little concertina journaling spot, and it's not that little. Like, there's a heap of writing space. If you are someone who only does a little bit of journaling, one of those pages might be enough for a whole day. Or you could get a couple of days, you know, or if you're just using it to record the weather or what you ate for a day, you know, you might do your whole menu on a page. I think really cute thing to include in a journal that gives a ton of writing space. Tuck it into a pocket and we're good to go. Awesome. And I think it's super cute, and those fun colourful pages I think just make it quite happy, don't they? So if you've got some plain papers around, even if it's scrapbook paper that you think, oh, it's plain, what do I do with it? It's quite boring. Cut it into small pieces and do something like this, and suddenly it just makes it fun. So there we go, guys. That's Trash Craft Tuesday for this week. I hope you enjoyed this project. I hope you find something that you can give this a go on, whether you make the base or have a similar instruction manual from something hanging around that's outlived its usefulness. Not anymore. Okay, guys, have a great week. Don't get too crazy busy like I'm going to be this week. We'll make it through together. Thanks for being here. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.